What is going on, guys? Ultimate Deadpool here. Finally back with another video. I know it's been a while since my last video. There's two reasons for that. One, I wanted to let the Thor tribute kind of soak into the internet and see how well it was going to do. It did a lot better than I thought it was going to do, actually, to be honest. So that was fun. And also, drama at home has not been fun, so it's been a whole hellacious nightmare. So we have a bunch of things to talk about today, and stuff that I have missed out on, plus things that I want to do on the channel moving forward. Some of which I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to enjoy, others maybe not so much. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and just jump right into everything. Okay, so this laptop that's in front of you guys right now, I found while we were cleaning up a room in our house, and nobody claimed it. So we wiped it of all of its data and whatnot, so I could use it for my YouTube stuff. And not even a week later, the damn thing decides to die. Not battery-wise, but full-on functioning-wise. So I have no idea how old this thing is. I have no idea, what condition or whatever it was in before, or what has been done to it before we did all the computer wipe stuff, but it is crap, essentially. So what we're going to do is kind of go back to Ultimate Deadpool Studios' roots and take something that does not work anymore and just obliterate it, for a lack of a better term. For two good reasons. One, the damn thing didn't even last me a week, which I didn't know how well it was going to last me anyways, because it was such a bitch to actually sign into the computer. But two, it had its issues. I'm not going to lie. It was a little bit more on the slower side, and also it was just not, there's no telling how old this thing is, or anything like that. It's an ASUS computer. I believe that's one of the more higher up brands. I could be wrong. I know Dell is like the holy grail of computers, and then Chromebooks are like the next step up, but I'm pretty sure these are relatively good computers as well. So I will be getting a different computer at some point. I was already planning on it anyway, because the one that I had is literally at my feet right now, and it is a 2007 Dell desktop computer with no monitor, and because the monitor it had was all pixelated and crappy because it was, ancient technology. But it was also a hand-me-down computer, and it was slow as hell. This one, I'll admit, was faster. So Saturday morning, this is going to get destroyed, for two good reasons. One, it doesn't work anymore. Two, it's an excuse to put my truck on camera. So I look forward to filming that video. The first time around when I did this was quite fun and enjoyable. This time I am literally going to, instead of last time when I had my 2,000-pound Toyota Camry drive over this laptop, it is going to be a 6,000-pound truck driving over it. So it's going to be very fun. And whatnot. I'm not going to completely destroy the computer just to destroy the computer. Like I said, it does not work. We have tried resetting it and whatever so many different times. It does not work. It does not want to work. So the best thing to do is to put it out of its misery, aka my misery. So that's fun. Let's move on. Whoop. Okay, now you're probably wondering, dude, what the hell? Now you have a Disney Infinity Hulkbuster on the table. Well, there's a good point. There's a good reason for that. My oh so wonderful brother has kind of been helping me a lot in the behind the scenes of the last few weeks lately. My brother is a genius. In my terms, is a genius. He has come up with a plan to mod the Hulkbuster from Disney Infinity to be a completely different and original character. We'll bring him out in just a minute. But we chose the Hulkbuster to try to mod this particular character in because of his walk animation. Now, this character I'm about to show you has heavy feet, so he has basically the same walk movements as the Hulkbuster, plus he's about proportionately sized for the Hulkbuster, because the Hulkbuster and Disney Infinity, I'd say, is about probably 7.5 feet tall, give or take, 6.8, 6 foot something, 7 pushing it. And this character is 7 feet tall. Now, this was 100% my brother's idea, so he's going to get all the credit, especially if it ends up working. And we will, of course, make the mod available for anybody who would like to try to play as this particular character on Disney Infinity. Now, I don't know much about modding, and no offense, neither does my brother, but it's something we both want to try because he talked me into it. So we're going to, and it would take a lot of modding to turn a Hulkbuster into the designated character that is going to be essentially replaced with this. He's going to get hopefully going to get a new animation, new fight pattern, and possibly even voice lines if we can figure that part out. But this is my brother's idea. This is not my idea. He wants to take the Hulkbuster and mod my Metalhead character into Disney Infinity as a full-on playable character. Now, you're probably thinking, good lord, how much more Metalhead can we have on the channel, or anything in general? How much more Metalhead do you need? You don't not want to know how many answers that question has. I'm actually thinking about trying to make a 1/12 scale Metalhead figure, or not 1/12 scale, 1/6 scale Metalhead figure to add to my Hot Toys display, just because I love this character so much. He is by far probably the most successful character I have ever created, and I'm still not sure why. I think it's because of his badass factor, to be honest. And that's what my brother said when he wanted to turn basically this into this. He said that this character is so cool and so different that to him it would be a really fun challenge to basically turn this into this. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. I don't know anything about modding, so and we have a Wii U, so hopefully this can be done to where we can try to, I guess, upload the mod online. So if anybody wants to play as Metalhead with Disney Infinity, all you should have to do is just have the Hulkbuster, according to my brother, on terms of modding. So I don't know. I know people have modded General Grievous in Disney Infinity using Ahsoka, just because she has 2 lightsabers. But I also know there's also test animations where he is wielding all 4 of his lightsabers. So I don't know. This is just a fun idea that my brother came up with. He talked me into it, and now we are both wanting to do this. So let me know what you guys think of this, and let's go on to the next topic. Oddly enough, still about Metalhead. Okay, so before we get into the really big update with Metalhead and other characters, I want to go ahead and say this. This past Christmas, I got a 3D printer for my birthday. Now, it's not a fancy 3D printer. It's not one of those ones that take up a gigantic room. The thing probably sits, give or take, about maybe 2 feet tall. It was like a $300 printer. It's not extravagant. It's not, super duper fancy like most other people's 3D printers. It's going to print some cool shit, but it's not going to be like super over the moon type stuff either. Or big panels or big pieces. But hopefully with what we are wanting to do, it'll work I know it'll work for what my intended use for it is, but I don't know about anything else. And especially with this upcoming project idea. So, my brother and I, like I said, we work on these Turtle Experiment characters all the time. He's actually the one who designed Oswald and has named helped name Killshot, and he also helped name Slaughter. So, and a couple of other ideas and stuff down the road. And I have given him credit for that in the past before. But we are thinking that because I try to go to Comic-Cons and stuff, or conventions and whatnot that are in my local area of Dallas or just Texas in general, because I did go to Granbury a few years ago, that wouldn't it be cool to take one or both of these guys, 3D print full-on wearable suits, and just have fun? So we're going to do Metalhead first because of obvious reasons. He's by far the most popular of the two. And Metalhead's going to be my suit because I am a little bit taller than my brother. And my brother's going to be wearing the Killshot suit. But when we go to conventions, we'll obviously make sure that we can, help each other get dressed and wear the suits or whatever. Or we'll bring a third person. Another really good friend of mine who will help us put the suits on as well. But I don't know much about making full-on wearable suits. I only know how to make standard statues out of Halloween costumes that are not made of plastic. And that's exactly what these suits are going to end up being made of. Because we've got a 3D printer, we're going to try to see if we can make these things out of plastic. It shouldn't be that hard, especially if we can hollow out all the parts and whatever, scale them up to our sizes and whatnot. It should be relatively easy, but it's just the matter of assembling them and making sure they don't fall apart while we're actually at the conventions. That's going to be another fun part. And explaining what the hell we're supposed to be. Because obviously to you guys know what these things are. To general public, they have no idea what the hell it is unless they're fans of the channel, which it would be a rarity if I actually bumped into somebody who knew what the hell these things were. So that's going to be fun in itself. But anyway, just a fun idea. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Okay, now for the really big news concerning Metalhead. Since Metalhead has such a unique design, if my editor is worth anything, there should be an image popping up right now. This is the same image that I uploaded in a community tab post not too long ago. And it was with that shit-tastic computer, because that's where this design was drawn from, for lack of a better term. And obviously you can tell this is a 2007's CGI Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles base mold, or base body, decked out to look like him. So that is a 2007 CGI movie rendition of what Metalhead is technically supposed to look like. It's very simplified right now. But once we actually do these, if we actually do move forward with this idea, it's going to hopefully look a lot better. Obviously, we do need a 3D model to actually model Metalhead as the Hulkbuster for a full-on Disney Infinity piece, which we may actually have to make some as a giveaway for the channel, so that might be fun too. But the whole point of this is, and I've seen videos on this before, and I've always wanted to do it. I have always wanted to dip my toes into 3D animating videos, which is a big thing for me as a YouTube channel and as a whole. And again, my brother does come into this as well. He is actually currently taking a Blender animation class in his school. Now, I know a little bit about Blender. I don't know enough about Blender to, make a full-on video or 3D model or anything like that. But this is one of those things that me and my brother would work together on, and we would, animate certain things, do certain fights, and um, you know, death battle scenarios and stories and whatnot, or just come up with really cool 3D models and use those for the 3D printer stuff, which would be fun just as well. But the reason that Metalhead was done first was because he has such a unique design that we both wanted to see what it would look like translated in 3D. That's not obviously like this, or not obviously like the Playmates figures and stuff that I've got. So we wanted to make sure do something a little bit different. So that is why, I did this while my brother was at school. It is supposed to look like what Metalhead is supposed to look like. Because, like I said before, when I talk about the Turtle Experiment characters, they are supposed to be relatively scrawny, but built, like slender but built, kind of like the 2007's Turtles design from the CGI animated movie, which is exactly what that model was based off of. So, seeing as how it has a much slender build, but still, maintains a little bit of musculature, it totally works for that character. Obviously, it's just in the app that I use to basically draw up that 3D model was not the best to use for something like that. So obviously, once we actually start using Blender and whatnot for characters or a character like that, we'll have a much better 3D model in mind and done so that way it looks more like what he's actually supposed to look like. And Metalhead was just the only one that I could think of off the top of my head to go ahead and try to 3D model that way. Plus, we have a few other accessories for him coming down the road out of the 3D printer. Stay tuned for that. That's going to be fun. But anyway, enough about Metalhead. Let's move on. Okay, now, some of you guys might not know this, but I am actually a relatively big Sonic the Hedgehog fan. I really do like playing the game. I've played a handful of the games. I really like the live action movies that they have done, which is more or less. Let me rephrase that. I'm more of a casual Sonic the Hedgehog fan. I've seen some of the shows. I've seen and played some of the games, but I was never like super duper deep into like the Sonic the Hedgehog lore or the backstory or certain characters' power sets or villains and whatnot. I just have fun with it. And now that Sonic the Hedgehog 3's trailer has officially come out, I'm blown away. Now, I do know enough about Sonic's backstory and whatnot, especially Shadow's backstory, to know what the movie is going to be setting up, or could be setting up, even though it's painfully obvious in the trailer. So, I actually do have a fan theory or two that I will do as its own separate video where I just talk about certain fan theories that I and my brother have come up, because we're both Sonic the Hedgehog nerds. Well, he is more so into the actual lore of Sonic the Hedgehog versus me. I just like to see a little blue guy in sneakers and gloves running around the screen, busting up machines. So, that's for lack of a better term. So, I was going to do, and this was a canceled video that was going to happen. I had a video that did a trailer breakdown and theories built into the trailer, but then I deleted it or, scrapped the idea of it because I did not want to get copy striked from Paramount and Sony and everybody else that it's attached with the Sonic the Hedgehog movies for actually using footage in the video. But just and by the way, the reason I keep cutting out like that, I don't know if I have I think it's allergies or something, but my nose has been driving me nuts all day, so that's why. There's little cuts here and there throughout the video. But just speaking back on the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer, I loved the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer. It's much better than the Minecraft trailer. Speaking again of which, I'm a casual Minecraft player. I have played the game several times, but I'm not too big into the lore or anything of Minecraft. But so far, the CGI characters and stuff in Minecraft, they look fine. It's the humans that look terrible. So, anyway, this is not a Minecraft segment. This is a Sonic the Hedgehog segment. And even more or less, it's a Shadow the Hedgehog segment. So, like I said, I like Sonic the Hedgehog. I love Shadow the Hedgehog. Shadow is by far my favorite character of the entire Sonic franchise. So I'm really interested to see how Keanu Reeves pulls off Shadow the Hedgehog. But just seeing what he can do and what he sounds like in the trailer, I'm like, dude's going to be a 10 out of 10. I guarantee it's going to... I always had my doubts when Keanu Reeves was first rumored to play Shadow. I'm like, I like him, but I would prefer Hayden Christensen. Because Hayden Christensen just has that voice that just sounds so Sonic or Shadow the Hedgehog-esque. But Keanu Reeves obviously is going to pull it off because, I mean, he sounded freaking awesome in the trailer. So, anyway, let me know what you guys thought of the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 trailer. I'm actually really looking forward to it. I am definitely going to see it opening day, or at least opening weekend, just like I did with Deadpool and Wolverine, because I did enjoy the first two Sonic movies, even though I did not think I was going to like the first one because of the Meow design, and then when they finally did the redesign, it looked so much better, but the movie itself still kind of teeter-tottered for me just because video game movies have not always had the best track record. And then Sonic the Hedgehog completely flipped the script, and now we have several video game movies due to its success. So, let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys all on that in a different video. Let's keep moving on with today's video. Okay, now to talk about probably the smallest portion of today's video. I don't know if I've showed this guy off on camera yet. I got him a while back for probably one of my Ultimate Deadpool props and reviews videos that I do. This is obviously General Grievous from, I believe, Battlefront. I could be wrong. This is obviously not Revenge of the Sith General Grievous or the animated series General Grievous. So let me take these lightsabers out of his butt. So I got this a while back. I've had it for a while. And I always hated it because he could never... Well, as of right now, he isn't standing upright, but that's because I don't have his legs. There you go. He couldn't stand up correctly because I don't know if it's just part of the design of General Grievous or whatever, but his feet absolutely sucked. I put a whole peg in there so he can actually stand on a display base, but when I did that, it obviously broke the foot off, which is no big deal. The feet had crappy pieces anyway, so they would always continuously fall off. So I decided to permanently fix that problem by super gluing the feet into place and these ankle pieces into place, because these would always move around and it would make him a bitch to stand up. But now, with a little bit of futzing, he can stand up just fine. And I can put him in really fun poses and whatnot, and he's gonna do his thing and whatnot, and not have really any issues. I say that as he's almost falling over, but I can put him in some really fun poses and whatnot, and he's not going to really do anything, especially if he's on a display base, like all of my videos that include action figure stop motions and whatnot usually do. So now that I've fixed General Grievous, I want to use General Grievous because duh. General Grievous is probably one of my favorite characters, again, from Star Wars, even though they did him so dirty. And the Revenge of the Sith movie, even though that's my favorite Star Wars movie of all time, and it always will be, nobody will change that. But just like Sonic the Hedgehog, I am a casual Star Wars fan. I love the movies, except for the sequels. And I like the Mandalorian show. I loved Kenobi, and I still haven't watched Ahsoka yet, but it's on my list of things to do. I've heard Hayden Christensen is a badass in that show. And I've watched the Clone Wars, but I didn't really care for the Clone Wars. So I know there's people who are going to be like, "You hated the Clone Wars?" I'm like, yes, I was not a fan of it. I don't know. It just wasn't my thing. Um, and then, the other shows and sequels and shit that Disney's been pumping out lately have just been dumb. Acolyte is definitely one of them. And I've also heard, I did attempt to watch the Book of Boba Fett and was so bored through it that I literally stopped watching the show halfway through. And just in general, I don't read a whole lot of Star Wars comic books. I don't watch anything outside of the movies. I have played the Force Unleashed games though, and I love the Force Unleashed games. So that is like the only exception of like outside Star Wars stuff that I do actually like, aside from the stuff that I just listed. So, but anyway, General Grievous was by far one of my favorite characters. His design was so fun, his voice was awesome, and the fact that he could fucking wield 4 lightsabers at the same time is like, dude, come on. So, with that being said, I want to use General Grievous in more videos. Because now that I've actually fixed his legs to where he can actually stand up correctly and not be Michael Jacksoning all over the place, because literally that's no joke what he did with these freaking ankle pieces like that. These pieces would literally bend forward to about here and causing him to fall over, and they were just such weak joints to where I just said, screw it, I'm just going to permanently fix these joints to where I never have to worry about the problem again. Now, this foot does still have a little bit of ankle movement, but it's a lot more stiff than what it was. This one especially was the one that kept falling off, because this is the one that has the hold for it for the peg, so he can actually stand up on a display base. But, even with that being said, he still stands up perfectly straight just fine. And whatnot. And he's very, very posable. So, he's got full-on head tilt or neck tilt all the way back to here and whatnot. So, he's got a good range of motion there. So you have him beatbox and whatnot to it. So, anyway, I would love to use General Grievous in more videos. So if you guys have any specific death battles or stories or interactions or whatever you want to see done with General Grievous, and I'll put this as a community post too, so that way people can, comment and vote on it if they so choose to. I would love to see General Grievous go up against certain characters that I have done on the channel, such as obviously Spider-Man, Deadpool, Batman, Iron Man, shit like that, Metalhead, Killshot if you guys so choose to, Wolverine. The possibilities for him now are endless. And literally it's just because I actually took the frickin' time to fix his damn feet. Because I cannot stress enough how crappy his feet were before I fixed them. And yes, he does kind of lean off to the side or a little bit and whatnot, but it's fine. It just takes a little finagling and whatnot to actually make him stand up correctly, but he's going to be on the display base anyway, moving around in stop motion animation anyway. The only thing that sucks that I can't do is I cannot have his arms split apart and have his wrists rotate like they did in Revenge of the Sith. That is the only drawback of this version of General Grievous, that and the way to put the arms together to form one or two separate arms instead of 4 separate arms is a bitch. But other than that, it's still a pretty damn good version of General Grievous, and it's General Grievous. You can't go wrong with General Grievous unless it's Revenge of the Sith, and even then, still a badass version of General Grievous. Not near as much as the 2D Clone Wars, but we'll ignore that factor. So anyway, let me know what you guys think of this. And who would you like to see General Grievous fight first? Because I already have an idea of who I'd like him to fight first. I do still have the Last Ronin versus a Predator to do. So if you guys want to vote on that, I will be putting up a community tab pitting those 2 characters against each other. So you guys can vote. And believe it or not, it's actually more of an even fight than you would think. Some people immediately go to the Predator just because it's a freaking Predator. But people also forget how resourceful and how strong the last Ronin actually is too. And also, as much as I love the Predators, they are 100% sore losers, because anytime they get too beaten up, they just blow themselves up because they just don't care. So, in all fairness, I think that Last Ronin does have a fair shot, but that could just be me. I will definitely put it up to you guys to see if you guys want to vote in that video or vote for that video. So, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this 30-minute video that I've been trying to shoot for the last 3 weeks. And, yeah. I'm currently back on YouTube now, so this is fun. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.